Hi, welcome back for another video. So moving on from the 60s cutter we used, although it's made in the 60s, I think they actually came out in the 40s. We then move on to the Neway type cutters. So these are two-sided, so that's a 30 on this side and a 45 on this side. And also we've got sharper, so that's a 60. And another one there for doing multi-angle seats, so with a 60, 45 and a 30 to increase flow, but also these are adjustable. So whereas the older cutters, we had a problem where we had one cutter that wouldn't really be the right size for the next, these are slightly adjustable in that these serrated blades move in and out, so you can change the effective cutting diameter. Just need to loosen those screws. And the fact that these are carbide blades means that the trouble we had cutting these seats on this old Minihead, it should make light work of those. So let's give them a try. The other big advantage with these is they came with an adjustable pilot. So as you do this screw up on this end, it actually spreads this collet, so it makes the pilot a good fit in the guide. Still maybe not ideal, but it's like leagues ahead of the older Sykes Pickavant cutters. I think that some of these are actually Sykes Pickavant themselves. I think they had a license to make them in the UK, but I think Neway in the States were the kind of inventors of this type cutter. Let's give it a go on the Minihead, see if we can make any better progress on these seats. So let's pop this adjustable pilot in. And we're going to be using this cutter, which I think is about the right size. And then it's got this T-bar handle to turn it. It's just a hex drive on there. So instantly you can feel that there's a lot more cutting force. Over the older type cutter. So I'm hoping that's going to show up as being quite a good seat. So the other advantage with these obviously is when they become blunt, you can replace these cutters. So it should last a lot longer. They're quite a lot more expensive, I think about £400 for a set. You can still buy these today, although some of these are quite old. You can see this one's actually become quite faded in time. So it's a better seat, but you can still see there's a few marks around it, a little bit of pitting, and it leaves quite a rough finish. Let's see what it's like for concentricity. Pretty good actually. So it bounces a bit. That's a sort of sign that the seat is quite accurate if the valve will bounce off of it. So that would probably lap in quite well. You can see we're getting a bit of seat showing around the top, so that's where you could start going 3-angle and cutting the top and bottom sections. You can see it's touching a lot more there than in other places, but if you lapped it, it would probably be a passable seat. Maybe not for performance, but it would certainly work. And I suppose a lot of these tools are primarily for use at home. So you know, if you can get your car repaired by yourself and back on the road, it's a win-win. So I've just adjusted those cutters out a little bit so that it will cut the inlet seat. Again, you can feel there's a lot more resistance with the cutter, so it's obviously quite sharp. Pull that out, have a look. Try and get a close up of the seats. Well, you can see those. It's missed a little bit on that side, and it's quite a rough finish. You can see it's quite rough because it's not really that shiny. Let's pop an inlet valve in and see. It's probably lappable. If you were doing some work like this at home in your garage, you could probably make a decent seal with some lapping and get your car running again with those. Not sure why some of them, I suppose bigger diameters, have got more cutters on them. But that is the Neway system. I think Sealey do something similar, which has 3 pins driving rather than a hex to drive the cutter head. And you can see that also you can make pilots if you're sort of stuck for something. These are a 3/8 top, so you can just use some 3/8 bar, or going up to quite big pilots, they do adjustable ones in all different sizes. So that is the Neway seat cutting system.